So welcome to my channel. So this series, I'm going to be vibe coding an application. So this is what I'm thinking about. I'm going to take my time to explain what I actually want to do. So this is what I want to vibe code. So I want to build a full stack application. So a full stack agent platform that will extend QwenPaw and make it the back end of a Quasar Vue 3 UI. So basically, QwenPaw is this platform. So let me show you what QwenPaw look like. So this is QwenPaw. Um, so I have a lot of agents here. So you see, agents are being created, but the problem here is that the memory is like files. So you see, I see the memory here as files. So it has everything that I need. But the problem is that I cannot extend this. This is is meant to be for personal use. I cannot extend these agents and share it with like members of my team to be able to use. So what I could do is install this same QwenPaw for them to use. But I feel like the way it's designed, they have to have access to the file. So it's not designed like it's designed for personal use. Although there are a lot of plugins here. For example, he has talked about the CloudPow plugin, Alibaba Cloud Orchestration, multi-agent. So I see this CloudPow here. So there's also video generation tool here that you could install and a lot of other image tool to generate images. So GPT, I see all these stuffs here, but what I want to do is when I create an agent here, let's say for example, I defined an agent. Let's come to agent management. So each of these agents, I could have a button here that could deploy this agent on a REST endpoint. So which means somebody could communicate with this agent and be able to see the files that are in this agent. So let's see what we could be able to use using Fable. So I'm going to share this one here. So this is Fable. So this is what I'm trying to tell Fable to do. So let's see what it will do. So a full stack agent platform that will extend QwenPaw and make it a backend of Quasar, where agents can be created via QwenPaw UI. You see, and so let's see, and exposed via HTTPS per agent. Okay, exposed via HTTPS, maybe all the agents, and are accessed by multiple users per agent. So QwenPaw already has most of these things built into it. Let's see what we can be able to achieve here. So I'm just going to, I'm calling this I'm calling it AgentFlow. So let's see. So one of the things you will discover is that it's going to check it. So meanwhile, in order for us to really see how what QwenPaw is while it's doing this thing, so I'm going to look for like Deep Wiki. So Deep Wiki is this website. So I'm going to show you shortly. So with Deep Wiki, so with Deep Wiki, I will be able to see, for example, if I search for QwenPaw here, so I will be able to see QwenPaw here. And not just that, I could be able to see what it's being made of. Like I could see the code base of QwenPaw. So you could see how it's been designed. So if you see the core agent architecture, so you could begin to see how QwenPaw is. So you could see how everything falls into place. So you could even go directly to the source code. I think the main thing here to look at is this React agent. So you could see here in the code, it even highlights the area. So this is the QwenPaw agent that extends this React agent. So you see, we will be able to access the source code and you could be able to gain some understanding. So this QwenPaw is based on another library called Agent Scope. So this is it. So this is Agent Scope. I kind of like the framework because if you look at, um, let's see, let's go to the docs. So I'm going to like increase the font a little bit. So agent scope is so simple that it just exposes um so let me show you the quick start guide. So when you install it, this is all you need. So it creates this thing called agent. So, and this agent, all you need to do is look at the tools. So immediately you provide your tools here with this toolkit and you choose the name of your model. And here is more like saying this is a dash scope chart model, meaning it's from like Alibaba. Like that's why the model here is Gwen Plus. So you see, all here you're defining your model. Here's your prompt. Here's the name of your agent, and here are the tools you are providing for your agent. So this user is actually using this is the what the user is going to be typing, and then this agent dot reply is you are actually waiting for the response from by this user. So you say hello, who are you? So definitely it's going to say I am an agent that does this. And basically here you are using Asyncio to run. So Asyncio is kind of like this library in Python for asynchronous programming. So you could do async, await, and all those kind of stuffs using Asyncio. So the building blocks are also very straightforward. So you have like the agent here, which is kind of like the main stuff here. So which is what they call a React agent. So this is all about it. So not much. And then you have your model. So your model could be different kind of models. So you have like the chat model base, and then you have the OpenAI chat model, Anthropic chat model, Dashcoop chat model, like the example you saw. You see here for TTS, all these ones are coming soon. Then you have context. Context is kind of like the window in which you chat, like contains so many conversations. So here you're talking about your system prompt. So you see here they're talking about context config. So they're talking about uh, the limit of how. So this one will regulate like how much of messages will be sent to your LLM at once. So it could compact for you automatically. So you see, look at you're talking about compression of the prompt and all these things. So tools here, you're talking about like you're passing these tools to your agent via this toolkit. So this toolkit, you use it to define your agent, and then you could define so many tools. You could even define custom tools. These are kind of like out of the box. These are tools that are inbuilt that comes with the library, and then you have a permission system. So basically, with these building blocks, you could be able to build an agent. And QwenPaw was built based on this, and you can see here that they are just extending this React agent. So you see here, these are all the tools that are coming out of the box from QwenPaw. So these tools are being passed. So if you look at it down here, you will see that somehow the tools will be used here somewhere. So if you look very much down, we're going to see where the tools are being registered. So look at the toolkit being defined here. And based on this, the tools are being registered. So you could see the tool functions here. So basically, this is just QwenPaw is just extending agent scope. So, and this is what I want to build, like, because there are a lot of goodies in this QwenPaw. So let's kind of like check the licenses also as well. So you can see there are a lot of goodies here uh, out of the box, and it's actually being developed as well. So they are doing a lot of development on it. So let me check. Let's see. I don't know what kind of licensing they have here for this. So let's check the license file. So look at it here. So I don't know the kind of licensing they are using. So they are rebranding. So what did they say here? So let's just see the kind of. So it's Apache. So this is the licensing. So I think this means that we could play around with it. So without any issue, I guess so. So it's look commercial use modification. So I'm free to do whatever I want with the code base. So let's go check what is happening in our agent scope. So look at what it's saying. So research is done now. Scaffolding. So it went ahead to scaffold the project. So it's basically just scaffolding the project here. So and it's doing a lot out of the box. So so I think at this point I'm going to stop it. because I want to see like, so let me see like what is planning. So the ASCII architecture for me to see what you are using from QwenPaw. So this is what we're going to do. So we want to see what is actually using from QwenPaw out of the box. So this will enable us to actually know if, let's not just take everything that is, so that they don't waste tokens for nothing, and then we end up not liking what it's doing. So I think we should check to see exactly what is it's doing out of the box. So because this is going to take time, so let's see. So let's see what it's saying here. So I'm just gonna kill this one off, and then we see in a high level. So this is what it's saying. So you have internet, you have HTTPS, then you have end users are using the Quasar Vue 3 SPA application. They are logging in my agent's chat file browser. So they're able to see the file. So this is the agent gateway, so which is the fast API application. And then this is the QwenPaw console UI. So this is where we define the agent. So here, this is QwenPaw unmodified. Uh, so I have some questions to ask as well. So I think this is quite of what I want. So the end users are able to access QwenPaw via this slash, y slash API goes to this gateway. So to be able to so what I want to ask is that chat already carry user ID plus channel, build for Telegram, channels where many users can. Okay, everything agent scope is this. Grandpa own auth is single user, so it stays internal. The gateway is only thing holding. So what we want to continue. How can this scale? Can this scale? I'm just asking some question here. Scale to multiple users. See, let's see, 100. Or let's just make it 1,000. So I'm just asking some questions. So it's quite clear. So we're keeping GwenPaw the way it is unmodified running here. And then somehow GwenPaw has a gateway, yes. And then we are exposing this gateway. So platform admins could access the UI here. So we could, so admin domain. So we could see this console UI where we'll be able to create skills, create con jobs, connect to some channels, and do a lot of things here. So this is what is going to happen. And so this is the big picture. So short answer, 100 user is comfortable within this architecture. The thing that doesn't scale is a single GwenPaw process. So the design has to treat the agents, it works well as a unit of sharding. Here's the reasoning. So for 100 users equals to 30 active chats at peak. So a chat turn is now waiting on the LLM provider stream. So let's see, Caddy fine as is, user UI fine as is, gateway replicated. So it's stateless by design, run n replicas. So this forces SQLite progress. Okay, add rate limiting, move to Redis. So this is what they are suggesting. So here I can have multiple Git GwenPaw running. Each instance owns its own agent workspace section files. No shares between them. So capacity per chart. Okay, whatever is suggesting, we I think it's quite clear. So how this will be achieved. Um, so, but for now, we don't really care. So let's just get this one up and running. So, okay, let's go. So we will also try to so I'm going to open the application as well. So let me get to the terminal here. So here I'm just going to do winsoft. So I have WinSoft, so I'm just going to use WinSoft to open the project so that we see actually what is generating. So so we have a Pi project here. I don't think it has actually gotten anything from QwenPaw. So this is some auth that is actually creating on top of everything. So this is some configuration object. So this is QwenPaw base URL. I doubt if it's trying to expose my own QwenPaw. So let's see what happens out of the box here. So I'm going to give it some time and then we're going to come back to it and see exactly what is being done. So we're going to check. So now you could see here that, so when I asked it about how multiple people are going to use it, so the agent is trying to figure out one thing here. He said QwenPaw was built as a personal assistant. So you see, if channel layer has a unique queue manager with debouncing, I have not verified whether two users queries to the same agent run concurrently or get queued serially per agent. Per section isolation exists in the data model. You see, but if execution serializes per agent, one slow tool call will line up everyone on that agent. That's a 30 minutes load test once the stack is up. Two users, one agent, simultaneously long queries. Watch whether streams interleave. If it serializes per agent port sharding, above is the fix. So you see also one product level node. So basically what it's trying to say here is that at the end of building it, it's going to run some tests to see, and then based on that, there will be the fix will be implemented. So now you see here it's actually creating the file. So let's switch back to the IDE and see what's happening. So one of the things I also used was I used ultra code, so as the effort. So that means this is kind of like the highest level. So you have like smarter, so you have faster to smarter. So smarter means I'm not really too concerned about the speed, so I'm using Fable 5 to its fullest. So I actually see what it can be able to do. So you see, so I just told it what I wanted and I'm allowing it to make its own decisions. Let's see what it's going to build out of the box. So now we can also switch back to Winsoft, so to see exactly what we have. So here you see, oh, so this is completely different stuff. So this is different. This is different. So let me see. So we could check here, AgentFlow. Yeah, so this is it. So now it has created some more files. So you could see here that we have like agents.py. So we have auth. So we have chats. So So here it's actually trying to build the application. That's why you see this. So it has created a virtual environment here and it has defined SQL Alchemy. So it's using the PyCop, which is kind of like Postgres package here. So this is all about the gateway. So we also have this DB here. So that means here it's going to have QwenPaw instances. So here will be agent routes. So it's actually doing a lot here. So it's a persistent for users per agent access. Charts that live and files live in QwenPaw. The gateway only stores identity, authorization, and agent, and the agent QwenPaw instance routing table. SQL has come in to keep this portable between SQLite, single and Postgres multiple replicas. So let's see. So this one is rate limiting, I guess. A per user rate limiting. So here are actually the tables that are going to be created. And here is so here is the QwenPaw.py. So I think it's going to use like my own QwenPaw. So you have QwenPaw already installed, and then you now install this one on top of QwenPaw, and then you have this. So let's see. So this is the UI. So the UI is actually Quasar. I actually use Quasar for a reason. That's because you could later build it up, build it to into a mobile applications if you use Quasar. So this is like the entire application. So we have the gateway and the UI. So I think everything looks very clean. So right now, so everything looks very clean. So let me install this Vue plugin here. And what is this one about? So it's just new Vim plugin. So I could just remove it so that I don't keep getting those errors. New Vim. So I think this is what is causing the problem. So I'm just going to install it to restart extensions. I think later. So we have files. So this one is going to make sure that your agent you can be able to access the files. So this is for routing. See here, agents, files, chats, login, admin. So everything seems to be going great. So what is this saying here? Is it let me run the gateway test before moving to the UI? So these ones are all the UI elements it's creating. So now so we see here that so the platform is built and verified. Like all the tests were passed, and the quizzer UI also built cleans. So now the whole stack deploys with one Docker Compose up. So the gateway, so we see here FastAPI multi-user front door. This is the piece that QwenPaw doesn't have. So QwenPaw was generally designed to be a personal assistant. So own user store, SQL Alchemy, we are using SQLite, Postgres ready for replicas. So this is for password, they are using this S script. So grant and min mouse user agent. So SSC streaming, files, scale ready from day one. So scale ready from day one per user rate limit. Instant routing table. So agents can shard across QwenPaw installer with zero router changes. So you see, so it's been designed just because of that question I asked earlier. So it's been designed in such a way that I can spin up other QwenPaw sections and this will just work. So the UI here is Quasar. So runs QwenPaw internally only. So this one here, so deploys QwenPaw. So let's go check the Docker Compose and see what is inside there. So you see the test that we covered and everything. I think it's almost done. So now we can, so AgentFlow. So we have our Docker Compose file. So in our Docker Compose file, you see it's running QwenPaw here. So look at the image here of what is running and look at the gateway here. It's building the gateway here. It's also building the, so you see we have a Docker Compose file for everything here to run. So now, so what I'm going to tell it is that just let's just try it by adding another QwenPaw instance and then changing the port to like some kind of wild port so that they will not clash with my own local gateway. So that's what I'm going to do now. So add one more QwenPaw, instance. So that's what we're going to do. And then when we add this one more QwenPaw instance, we are also going to tell it that use some wild ports, not to clash with other apps. So see how this one works. So this is what we're going to do. So now I have added the two. So by just telling it here, add one more QwenPaw instance with some wild port. So you could see here that it has added it. This is actually wild. So and you see that they are all running SHA-1 console for admin, SHA-2 console for local admin. So gateway. So if we go back now, we're going to see that the Docker Compose file will now be running. So we will now have like so QwenPaw 1 and QwenPaw 2. So you see here it's talking about the fact that same image own state agents created on this instance are auto routed to it by the gateway. So same image own state agent created on this instance are auto routed to it by the gateway. So this one, agent backend admin plane SHA-1 never expose directly to a while loop backport is for local admin access only. Picked a high to avoid clashes. So the admin will be able to make changes to this, and this is how it's going to work. So what I'm going to ask it is that so if you add a readme, so now it's going to add readme on how to add more instances. So this is what I'm going to do, and then mm, so now I could tell it and start the application. So now we will see when the application is up what we've been able to achieve. So it's actually writing our README file. So I think it's done with this, and then you could see here that it's calling it. So let me extend this. So it's a multi-user agent platform on top of QwenPaw. So admin create and configure agents in QwenPaw own console. This is what I wanted. And user reach those agents over HTTP through a Quasar Vue app, each with their own login, their own chat section per agent, and read access to files agents generate. So you see, they have read access to those files that the agent will generate. So and so you see here it's sitting on top of this Caddy, and then this is what we want. So how multi-user works? QwenPaw itself is a single user, one bearer token, but its chat model was built for channels when many people talk to one agent. Every agent carries a user ID, a channel, and section ID. The gateway exploit exactly that. Each gateway user maps to QwenPaw user ID, you see, so channel equals to AgentFlow. So that it uses the same concept. So it sets the channel to AgentFlow. QwenPaw keeps separate section memory per user ID. Isolation comes from the stock data model, no fork required. The gateway verifies chat ownership before every history read, delete, or message sent. QwenPaw token never leaves the gateway. End users only hold gateway JWT. So you see, and this is how to run it. So if you have like local, you can run this. If you have like QwenPaw on your machine, it runs on this. You could also build the gateway scaling to 1000 users. This was interesting. The gateway is stateless, so replicate it freely. Mhm. So moving agent flow database URL to progress. The unit that does not replicate is the QwenPaw instance. Agent workspaces are on disk state, so agent shard across instances instead. The compose tab already runs two, so I'm already running two of these agents on compose. So the more you run them, so you see here register extra instances under admin instances, or post or declare them via the agent instances environmental variable. Agents found on the shard are routed to it automatically. Override under agent instant route if needed. Everything is ready, so that's all you need to do. So if we add the third one, all we need to do is provide it in this shard here. So I think it's quite straightforward on how to go ahead with that. So, and some security notes here. So this is exactly what I wanted. So so now it's actually building the containers, and very soon agent flow will be up. So we're going to test it and see. So now is the time it has actually built the images according to what it's saying. It's say they are currently running. So let's try the UI first of all and just see what is happening in the UI. And let me copy this. So I'm going to be running it on. So we're just gonna. Let's check it out and see what we can get out of the box. So I'm gonna try it here. I think the whole thing is running on. Let's see again. So it's running on what? So I think it's running on. This is the UI. No, I have to go down again. So this is what I wanted to copy. So so this is how the agent flow UI looks like. So sign in to talk to your agents. So this is how it looks like. I think it's quite nice. I think this logo looks cool. So now what we need to do is sign in to so let me check the other ports as well. So we will be signing in to actually define the agents. So let's see the port in which both of them are running. So one of them is actually running on port let's see. So this one is the only thing is just 881 and 882. So we can just go back to the UI and see what we can do. So we just need to copy this one and basically we'll run them at 881 and 882. So let's see. So let's go here. So and just at 881. I think here. So so I can't see the UI. So let me go back and see. So we can access this. So let's see. Can't access this on the UI. So share. So we're going to tell it to share username and password. So what's the username and password for the UI? So I think this is what we need for now. So now I have actually opened the agent flow and the QwenPaw UI. So I'm going to be signing into both of them. So I'm just going to grab the password for the UI. So I'm going to grab the password. So both of them actually give me. So let's see. Okay, so maybe I didn't grab the string correctly. So let me try again. So maybe now it's possible. Yep. So I'm going to save the password. So you see the agents here. So these are the default agents. So it worked. So this is really crazy. So now I can also sign in here. So you see. So this is the QwenPaw UI. This is what I wanted. So I have this agent here. So now I will go ahead and define an agent just to be able to test. So we come back to models. So I'm going to look for an API key and just provide one So maybe I'm going to use this open code. So I think for open code, I'll be able to use open code Go. So I'm going to provide the API key for open code Go. So let's see here. So I'm just going to come and look for open code. So open code, and then I'm going to choose Go. So this will give me an API key for sure. So I'm just going to log in here. Yes, I'm logged in, so I can grab my API key. So click here, or just create one and call it TWST. What? Is he actually copying this key? So let me delete it. So let's see, test key, and let me say create, and it creates it. Does that mean that I can copy it? Okay, let's come here. So we just have the ability to delete. So I think the key has been copied. So let me see. Yeah, it looks like this is my key. So this has been copied. I will delete it at the end of the day anyway. So now we could actually test these models to see whether they are working. Yeah, the models have connected successfully, which is crazy. So now we have QwenPaw running. So now we can define our so let's define an agent and see whether the agent is going to show up there. So now we have two agents here. So we just create a new agent. I'm going to call this one maybe software. This is software engineer, ENG. So we're just going to make sure that this is also the agent name. And then here we just say, I think we could leave that one. So we choose all the building tools and we click on save. Our agent has been created. So we come here. Let's see what happens when we refresh here. Yes, our agent shows up here. Now we can chat with our agent for the very first time. So let's see what we can do here. So we say new chat. So a new chat has been created. So we can type some message here. And here I could say you are a software engineering agent. You. So what this means is that I could deploy this stuff, this agent flow to my VPS, and I'll be able to access my agent anywhere on the web, and they can run, and I could get a lot of stuffs done. I think this is what I actually want. So you are a software engineering agent. Your stack are FastAPI, and let's say Vue 3. Then I will tell it you are. So I will just give it a name. So I say you are called Softbox. I am Eric. So maybe this could be okay. There are some typos here. I understand, but see what happens. So we send this and let's see whether the communication is possible and if it's able to maintain this section. So what we know now, if we come back here, what we'll do is that we'll switch to this agent and we're able to see whether there is a section open here. So there is, and the channel name is AgentFlow, just like we were told. So you see, we could view this section to see what is happening here. So this is the chat from AgentFlow. So let's go back and check. The section was created, but nothing is actually happening. I think what could have been the problem. So let's go back here. So when we go to the agent, let's come back to agent management and let's open this agent. What I suspect here is that we have not chosen a model. So here we could choose this 3.6 or GLM 5.1, and then we have a default model for, I think we did not save, so we just save. Let's see again. I think the model has been activated here, so we could also choose a global model as well, and maybe just go for something different like 3.6 plus, and we save. So we've selected the model, so we can come back to AgentFlow, and let's see what happens. So we have this old chart here, so nothing happens here. So let's go back here and kind of like see what happens. So we can edit. So here we could just define the personality of the agent and see what happens. Yes. So here we can set up our personality for our agent. We could say, I am, I am Eric. So you are softbox. So let's give it you are soft box a SWE. So let's say a fast API view 3 Postgres, and let's use something like PG. So let's see. So let's say Postgres software engineering agent. So this one is okay. So just hit here. So you see, say nice to meet you, Eric. I'm Softbox, your software engineering agent. So now we can approve these two calls. So I am Softbox, your software. So my vibe sharp. So it has created some of this stuff. So what we can do is that we could come here, and then here we could see that name has now been defined. So you see, so we could check the files here. We could see agent.md. We could see so many stuffs that has automatically showed up with the agent. You see memory.md. So you see softbox came online. So all these informations are also reflected here. The reason why I demanded that this thing be here is that, for example, if you're on the web UI, you can actually get the files that your agent have created. So now we could tell it, for example, let me delete this new chat, start a new chat. So what is your name? And let's see what we get out of the box. So you see, the user is asking about my name. I can see that I am softbox. So now we could tell it. So now one of the beauty about this is that we are not actually um, changing QwenPaw per se. We're just having a layer on top of QwenPaw. So, and this is amazing. So now we can deploy this somewhere on the web, and we could have many instances of QwenPaw. So particularly you are in organization, you could use this. So now let's try to build something. Let's say I want to build a website for the for my full stack agentic class. So let's see what it's going to say. So now we are seeing this nice UI here. Is Eric wants to build a website for his full stack. This sounds like web development project. So he's talking about what the site is gonna have, you know. So I think this should be the end. I think we now have something that is working, and this could actually be deployed to a VPS. So if you want, I could actually deploy this directly to a VPS, and then we could have everything. So this is agent flow. I think this works perfectly. So we've been able to create our agents. We've been able to connect. So now anytime I create an agent here, the agent will automatically show here. And one of the beauty about the whole of this stuff is that, let's say for example, we come here and say, let's say I tell it to start the project. So start project. So now it's asking me purpose, cost landing page. Yes, I'll say one. So I will just choose both, purpose, both. Yeah, one, I will say both. Then I'll say two, I will say all. And then three, I will say all. It will just understand. Then four, I will say yes. And then five, I will just say Docker. So I will just want to show you something out of the box. So hope it understand what I was saying here. So now when we come back here, let's try to see the chat section. So if we come here on the section, so you see here, this is so this two call has been approved. Let me see here. So here I'm not actually seeing the chat history for this section. So let me go back to section management. So on the section, we see this one. So let's see view. It doesn't actually, it's not actually showing me the chat history. So let's go back here and so the thing here is that Fable 5 was able to build it without much. So I think it's just basically still working behind the scene. It's going to be creating the files and doing a lot. So I'm going to give it some time. But I think I might do a follow up video where I actually show a lot about how this is going to work. So look at, we could add users. See this one now, we could grant access to a particular username. So these are the instances that we have. So look at what is happening. So we could, set these safe instances, and all of them will be available in the UI. The agents will be available to be accessed. So this is really nice. And then we can still see our agents. So I feel like the sections are not being maintained here. So let's see. What's the name? Softbox. So let's see this one. Maybe that one got aborted. Okay, there was something, a tool call here. So there's a way to solve this problem. The way to solve the problem is that for this agent, we could come to configuration for the agent. And then for tool call, because we are on a Docker environment, of course, we could put it at off and save, so that we don't have those, have it call us again and again to approve. So this is where we come to the end of this video. So if you love content like this, subscribe to my channel and I will keep them coming.